Joao Felix finally up for sale. He has fallen out with the Atletico Madrid manager, that is Diego Simeone, and obviously you know what it means when a striker is up for sale. United have just lost Cristiano Ronaldo, fallen out with Eric Ten Hag, and obviously thrown out of the door of Manchester United. United is in search of a new centre forward, and obviously you know what it means when Joao Felix is available for sale in the January transfer window. Secondly, we are talking about Antony having a little bit of illness for Brazil, but an injury boost is up to be discussed about today, and whether he's going to show up in the game they are going to play, I think, on Monday. That's it, and that is today or tomorrow, depending on where you are watching this video from right about now. And lastly, Casemiro, who played with Ronaldo for very many years at Real Madrid, has come out and revealed has given out his opinion on the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? Last video of the day, and I believe tomorrow we are going to come back early enough before lunchtime, before I think Cameroon takes on Serbia. I think we'll be having a video up onto this channel, and obviously very many more things are really planned into this transfer window, because United is really going to be up and running in the transfer window. Rokan David is my name. Thank you guys. We've hit 9,000 subscribers, and obviously we are having 9,030, and I know by the end of this year we will be in the 10,000 club, meaning that we are left with 970 subscribers. I know within a space of 2 or 3 weeks from now we are going to be in the 10,000 subscribe club. Not so, because I believe in the followers of United that are really watching us all over Africa and all over the world. We are being watched from different corners of the world, and this is exactly what it means to be a Red Devil. Now, Joao Felix is one of the people or the players that United was so much linked to in the in the summer, and stories were confirmed that United put in a bid that was rejected by Atletico Madrid. By the time maybe Joao Felix thought that maybe Diego Simeone was going to go on and really turn from a pragmatic manager that he has been for so long at Atletico Madrid, into a manager that is going to be expansive and explosive, but he is just trying not to change anything and to constrain a lot onto what we call the pragmatic football, playing with a very huge defensive minded team, obviously a system that does not guarantee Joao Felix blossoming at Atletico Madrid. Now, Fabrizio Romano via his YouTube channel has come out and confirmed to us that Joao Felix is open to leaving Atletico Madrid in the new year. Talking of the new year, that is 2023. 2023 is January, or the first month of every year is January, meaning that in January we are having a January winter transfer window that Joao Felix is looking at. Manchester United is one of the darlings that Joao Felix is really looking to join in the winter from Atletico Madrid. Now, stories have continued to come in through as far as Joao Felix is concerned. Then AS is really a very good source coming out and really letting us know that Atletico Madrid will allow Joao Felix to leave the club on loan after receiving no offers for the forward. The one-away Portuguese star has been linked with the move to Manchester United and PSG. Now, let's first talk about PSG that can come in through and really make this deal not possible for Manchester United. Now, remember, a story broke out, I think, around mid-October that Kylian Mbappe had flown to Real Madrid to renegotiate with Florentino Perez, wanting out of a side which goes by the names of PSG. The reason as to why he really wanted to go out is in the new contract he signed at PSG, they promised him that they're going to bring in a world-class number 9. Mbappe prefers playing wide, not centrally. They never delivered him, and they had told him that we are going to bring you Lewandowski, but Lewandowski finally crossed from Bayern Munich to Barcelona, and obviously it never came in as that dark. Now, as a way of keeping Kylian Mbappe, PSG might be wanting to go out and spend huge on a player who goes by the names of Joao Felix, because he's a variable and he is one of those classic players that if at all you sign him and add him into your team, you are 100% sure of goals, provided your creativity in the midfield is really so much appealing to Joao Felix. Talking of clinical finishing, that's Joao Felix. Good one-on-one. His creativity is high. He plays good with his back to goal. Link-up play is great. He's really a modern kind of striker that shifts left, right, and center whenever he's playing for your team. He's not this kind of center forward who's going to wait for chances to be created for him to score. If at all balls are not coming, he can see himself involved into the second, third build-up of his team until they reach into the final third where the opponent is, and they can obviously threaten the opponent and hit him very, very badly. The other team that I believe has not been mentioned in here is a team which goes by the names of Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is lacking a center forward. With Lewandowski leaving, they are left with the Cameroonian guy. Is it Chomuteng? Something of the sort. I've not gotten his name right. You can really get me the real name of that guy. But he is not even starting. What they do, they get Sadio Mane to play off the left. Then Musiala, central attack midfielder. Serge Gnabry leads the line, and obviously this guy who had really hit Germany in the dying minutes, Leroy Sane, to play as a right attacking midfielder, meaning that they are really looking for a world-class number 9. Bayern Munich is one of the teams that are really looking in for Joao Felix. But are they willing to go on and spend huge on him? That's the big question. Reason being, they've been drawn with PSG in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Bayern and PSG. Now, whoever gets Joao Felix is going to be one of those teams that are really going to be ready to go on and beat the other, because Joao Felix can finish you provided you can get him the chances. And these two teams are really so much creative. If you look at PSG, they're having a creativity force of Messi, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe. Those three behind Joao Felix, obviously you know that goals are really going to come in through. Look at Bayern having Sadio Mane, Musiala, Leroy Sane, and Serge Gnabry behind you to create chances for you. Obviously with their fullbacks, that is Afonso Alves and Mazouri of Morocco, you believe that most of things are really going to go on and happen in the direction of where Bayern wants them to go. So those are the teams that United are going to compete with Felix as far as his signature is concerned in January. But United is really looking at another player who goes by names of Cody Gakpo, and Ten Hag wants Cody Gakpo more than anything else. So let's wait and see whether United will either go for Cody Gakpo or for Joao Felix, because they all give you the same thing. Joao Felix can play as a left forward, a right forward, and a central forward. He can also play as a central attacking midfielder. 4 positions in the front 4 positions of the team. Look at Cody Gakpo. He can do the same. He can also play in all 3 positions of the forward line. That is Cody Gakpo, and they are proven. For Cody Gakpo, he has played 2 games, 2 goals scored. Joao Felix in the World Cup, he has played 1 game, 1 goal scored. Very much clinical, and both are really exciting players that would love to go on and see play for a team which goes by names of Manchester United. But let's wait and see what is it all going to be about as far as these 2 players are concerned. But United are obviously one of those teams that are being linked to Joao Felix, and I don't know whether we will go in and bring him. Antony, the Brazilian who came in at United at 100 million euros or 85 million pounds from Ajax. He played close to 10-15 minutes as Brazil was beating Serbia by 2-0. He came on through and played, but the next day he never appeared in training because we are told by 90 more that Manchester United winger Antony missed Brazil training on Friday and Saturday, making him a doubt for Brazilia's next game. Then, for the second day in a row, Antony was unwell and stayed at the hotel. And obviously, Antony has a problem with illness. I don't know what exactly is really paining him or is really suffering from. But today we've been told by Ben Dinari, this is the analyst concerning the injuries into what we call the Premier League, as well as that Antony will be monitored ahead of the game against Switzerland due to illness. But the very huge injury boost of this guy is here. Antony has been seen today in the training session of Brazil conducted down in Qatar, as they prepare to play against Switzerland, a team that also won against Cameroon by 1-0. That is Antony. You see him very well training today, and obviously that is a very huge injury boost. But I have something to say about Antony and how he came in at Manchester United. You see, I've seen people coming out and complaining a lot that United put themselves in a situation of not getting Antony early enough. To me, I believe Antony was supposed to arrive at Manchester United maybe much earlier, but the problem was this guy was injured. This guy was injured, and United had to wait maybe a little bit to see whether this guy is going to go on and really find his fitness back. Finally, he found his fitness back, but we got him expensively, but I'm happy he's back. But the way he's really getting injuries is really worrying me. He got an injury, and he last played for United when we were playing against Sheffield at Old Trafford. That game that we won 3-0. Was it 3-0 or 1-0? I think we won it. Was it against Omonia? I think it was against Omonia. That we won that game by 1-0. Remember that goal very well that Scott McTominay scored when Sancho came on through and really wrong-footed the defenders of a team which goes by the names of Sheffield, and obviously he found Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay went in for an effort that really crossed the line of Sheffield. But I believe there is something not okay with Antony, but he had played very many games for United and he's a very good player. But injury-wise, let's hope these are not warning signs of a signing we made that is going to be injury-prone, because a player of that caliber of amount of money put out needs to be playing game in, game out for his club like Manchester United, for the club that really went in and signed him for huge amounts of money, and that is a player who goes by the names of Antony. And I really believe that he is going to be fit and play in the game of Switzerland, because there is space for him to play, reason being Neymar is out, meaning that maybe the substitutions can really be helped him and really comes in through to play that game of football. But it's a huge injury boost for Antony, because he needs to be available and fully fit. For Brazil, a team that I believe is going to play in the finales of the World Cup, meaning that he might end his World Cup tournament at 18th. It's 18th of December, giving him 7 days of rest that United have guaranteed to every player that is going to leave the World Cup. That brings him back. That makes him return on the 25th. On the 25th, he would have already played Burnley in the midweek on the 21st, meaning that we'll train for 2 days, 25th and 26th. On the 27th, United will be playing Nottingham at Old Trafford. Will he be back? That's what we need to see on. But I'm not worried a lot about him, because this is like him regaining back to full fitness levels, having not been playing football for Manchester United for some good, close to a month, because he missed out on the game of Sheffield. He never played against Spurs. He never played against Chelsea. He never played against Real Sociedad away. He never played against West Ham. He never played against Fulham. He never played against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. He never played against Aston Villa away. So he missed close to 8-10 games, meaning that this is going to help him get back in shape to come in and compete in that game of Nottingham. Obviously, he's a starter for Erik ten Hag. People were saying that maybe he was really being punished by Erik ten Hag for the spin he made in that game of Sheffield at Old Trafford, but it really came out evidently that the guy was sick and he had an injury and a little knock. For Sancho, I believe for him, it was really concerning his mentality and attitude, but obviously the manager is really working on for Sancho, and he sent him to the Netherlands to train with the coaches recommended him to see to it that he comes in and really gets back to his form, because the likes of Alejandro Garnacho, Rashford are really going in, bargaining for that position, and Sancho looks like he's losing out his grip. Yet he's a very classic player for United, and we need him to be fully back onto the pitch. Now, after talking Joao Felix and Antony, let's talk about something. Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester United, but every player at the World Cup is being interviewed and asked about Ronaldo Cristiano. The best answer for me that has come out today is that of Casemiro. Casemiro on Ronaldo leaving Manchester United, he has said Cristiano is already an adult. He knows what is best for him. You know, I really liked him, and it has been straight that he's an adult, he know what he's doing, and if at all he went to the media and forced his move out from Manchester United, it's up to him. We are less concerned about it. We are United players. We are going to return to go on and really get the battle to the forefront to see to it that we go into the 4th position. After that, we even battle for the title. I'm one of those United fans who really believe that the title race is still on. 11 points behind Arsenal. That is not far away. If at all, we are in December. Very many games yet to be played. We've not even played half of the games, meaning that lots of things are yet to come. If we get in a Cody Gakpo as a centre forward and a right back, I believe United can come in and do the needful in the remaining games to it that we win most of our games and we can go and give Arsenal a chase for their title that they are on, leading the table with 5 points behind Man City. And that shows you that we are just 6 points behind Man City. So we are not far away from the trophy. If people say that Man City is still in the title race, then how do you pull out United? How do you pull out United? You can't pull out United because it's 6 points behind Man City. So I believe we can get ourselves into the title race provided we continue winning, and the departure of Ronaldo is going to really put a lot of amnesty into the club, and a lot of composure and calmness is going to be orchestrated in the field of play, and everything is going to be okay. The likes of Anthony Martial are going to get firing, Rashford, Antony, no star. We're not going to be disturbed by the stardom of those players, and obviously every player now knows that Erik ten Hag has tamed the biggest egos at the club. Harry Maguire, the captain, by benching him, and Ronaldo by throwing him out of the club. And obviously now every player knows that Ten Hag has the mantle to send you or throw you out of the club. For the very first time, it's happening at Manchester United, and obviously who is winning? It's the club winning, and kudos to Erik ten Hag for the very good work done at Old Trafford. Now tomorrow, we are having close to 4 games being played. Cameroon is playing Serbia. In Cameroon and Serbia, there is no United player. South Korea versus Ghana. In South Korea and Ghana, there is no United player. But in the Brazilian team, there are 3 players that might feature tomorrow. That is Fred Rodriguez and Casemiro in the midfield. The injury of Neymar calls in for either Fred or Bruno Guimaraes to come in through to play in the double pivot to push Paqueta into the Neymar position, and that might see 2 of United players start in that game of a team which goes by the names of Brazil. Then the other fixture that is going to take place is going to be between Portugal and Uruguay, and both in Portugal and Uruguay, United has players that are really doing a very good job there. Let me show you these fixtures. For Portugal, we are having Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dallo. Yes, and for Brazil, we are having Antony, Fred Rodriguez, and Casemiro. So tomorrow we are having 2 games of football that are going to be having close to 5 or 6 players of United involved. Not so? So thank you very much for watching again. Rock and David is my name. Your reactions are welcome. To Joao Felix, up for sale. Antony, injury boost. And obviously Casemiro giving out his opinion on Ronaldo's departure. Tell me what to think about should United break the bank to go in for Joao Felix, because Joao Felix could go in for like how much? For like Joao Felix could go in for like 85 million pounds. That is 100 million euros. Can United break the bank and go in for that? I doubt most of you are going to say, get us Cody Gakpo. But I sign out for now. See you later, and may the mighty Lord see you and bless you abundantly. Let me see close to 200 likes onto this video. See you tomorrow, guys. I'm out. Unless a breaking story comes out, but I'm finally signing out.